Georgi Karakhanyan and Saul Rogers in the lightweight division. Georgi Karakhanyan, really good guillotine on the bottom. That is the main thing I really want to focus on, because Saul Rogers early on in the first round loves to go for that double leg takedown. We saw against Masvidal in the last fight, went for the double leg takedown, and then Masvidal ended up reversing him. But if you go for a double leg takedown on a guy like Georgi Karakhanyan, he's going to get his back to the cage, and he's going to lash in that guillotine that we saw Saul Rogers actually lose to his RL Portilla right there by guillotine. And Georgi Karakhanyan, we know, has a devastating guillotine, second round guillotine right there. First round guillotine, third round guillotine, first round. I can keep on going on and on and on, but a lot of his wins are triangles or guillotines. His last win was an arm triangle choke submission win on Kiefer Crosby, but either way, the wrestling and grappling on bottom of Georgi Karakhanyan is what I do think will keep the fight in the striking game, because it's really dangerous for Saul Rogers to go for any takedowns. And if he does go for the takedown and he does get it without him lashing in the rear, the guillotine or the triangle, he's literally just going to keep on fishing for different submissions over and over again, which is not going to allow Saul Rogers to really land any significant ground and pound, because he's trying to defend all of these submissions. So the grappling and the wrestling I see being very even, with Georgi using his submission threat to stay away from the ground and pound and keep it very even on the ground. But in the striking, Saul Rogers pretty good at range, has the height advantage, and is going to have, I believe, a 4.5 inch reach advantage right there. But Georgi Karakhanyan, we know, has amazing pressure, really good power in his hands as well, with 31 wins. If you look at how he won those fights, 7 knockout wins, a lot of submission wins, but he does have a lot of power when he puts your back to the cage, just starts throwing really big shots. So the main way I see him winning, literally 2 words: pressure and volume. That's the main 2 words that I'm thinking for Georgi Karakhanyan. Keeping the fight on the feet with the submissions on bottom, keeping the fight on the feet, pressuring Saul Rogers to the back of the cage, and just throw in volume. So I definitely see this fight being very 50-50, because if Saul Rogers can get the takedown without... Sorry about that. Can get the takedown without getting submitted, he can definitely win the fight. But I do think it's too dangerous for him to go for those takedowns. So it might be a striking fight. And if it is going to be a striking fight, which I do think it will be, Georgi has more power. He has more speed, in my opinion. Has better pressure, better volume. And I do think will win the fight on the feet. So my prediction for Georgi Karakhanyan and Saul Rogers is going to be Georgi Karakhanyan. I believe a slight underdog in the betting odds. So a very slight underdog on the betting odds right there at -105. Originally, it was at +120, which I thought was a little iffy. I think it is very 50-50. I think the odds right now should probably be switched to -125 Georgi and then -105 for Saul Rogers, just because of the submission threat on bottom and the advantage that he's going to have on the feet. So it's a really good fight in the lightweight division. But my prediction is Georgi Karakhanyan by a 29-28 decision. Really good fight in the lightweight division right there.